This is 25 cents, a full quarter. Minted in 2018. When this was minted back in the day, it would buy you nothing. You couldn't get anything with it. You could get a gumball at a dining machine. And it's been sitting in cup holders and hopefully laundry machines, somebody's pocket, for years now, just waiting. So today we're gonna end its career as just simple pocket change, and we're gonna turn this into a monument, an artifact of discipline, a celebration award for a man named TRD in the world of F3. Now, F3 is a workout group. There's 5 core principles. There's open to all men. 2, free of charge. 3, held outdoors, rain or shine. 4, peer-led in a rotating fashion. And 5, always ends in a circle of trust. We have a credo: leave no man behind, leave no man where you found him. And our mission is to plant, grow, and serve small workout groups for men for the invigoration of male community leadership. I say that because we're making this a little token or charm, engraved charm for someone nicknamed TRD. He had an accomplishment of posting or working out 174 days in a row, which is a wild amount of times. Pretty damn high number. Will not be challenged in a long time. 174 times he got up. And this group meets in the morning at 5:15 almost every morning. I know that throughout the US it's a little different, so some of them will start at 5:30. Some of them agree. I don't know if there's one that agreed to start at 6, but they all start pretty damn early. And this region starts at 5:15. 5:15 every morning for 174 days you get up. Like, what a test of discipline. That is impressive. So we're gonna make that today. We're gonna make it and immortalize it in this quarter. Very fitting use of engraving to immortalize this accomplishment, this streak. Sharpening always takes longer than you want it to. Always does. But you gotta make it clean. You gotta keep the tip sharp. That's the only way it's gonna cut well. It's the only way it's gonna make the cuts look good. You know, while learning this, I haven't got it dialed down in terms of how long I should make the heel. If you make the heel, they say, you make the heel too short or too long, you won't get the cuts you like, or you'll slip more often. This is just, I found what I like, at least, or what helps me not slip, really. Nice little final product before we go back to making our first cut. This guy posted 174 times. And by post, I mean worked out in the workout group, F3. Technically, it wasn't 170 days because there were a couple of days that he doubled up or tripled up. But at least 160 days he got up. 5:15 in the morning to go work out. 174 is kind of a strange number, but life does get in the way eventually. 104 streak. Once he got about a month in, 2 months in, people started poking him, being like, hey man, how long are you gonna go? How long are you gonna keep this up? And this was back in October. He said in a joking tone, well, I got something coming up in January, so I'll have to end it then. Everyone go, oh, ha 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 ha. January, huh? But then the time just kept rolling on and he just kept showing up. He was just there every single day. And you have to give extra bonus points because this guy, towards the latter end of the year, he got a girlfriend. Or, started seeing someone, and he still kept coming out. Now, if you have ever been someone who is like in a fresh new relationship, you're going on dates, what is the likelihood that person's gonna drop off the face of the planet at least a little bit, at least for a day, with their discipline? But he didn't. Kept doing it, man. He kept going. So, but at least 160 days he got up 5:15 in the morning to go work out. And I gotta say, I respect it, man. I do respect it. Kind of embarrassing that it just dawned on me that I can record and re-record as many times and just cut it up and edit it in Premiere. I joke about how many takes somebody does before they actually are happy with it. It's just an incredible amount of time. You'll fuck up one word and then you'll be like, I gotta do it all again. I gotta start from the beginning. You just start from the fucking beginning. And it ends up taking you like an hour later because you wanted to have a clean take. 100% clean take. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've also talked about speaking at longer lengths. But how am I ever going to do that if I never actually speak at those lengths or speak for that amount of time? Like, it's just incredible. The box of action you put yourself in when you think it has to come out a certain way. You know, like I talk about, oh, I want to give these talks. I want to talk to the young people. You know, I like doing comedy. I want to talk about engraving and talk about how engraving and jewelry can be special in a way outside of just being pretty. And people always ask me, well, what do you want to talk about? And then at first it caught me really stumped, and I would have this sort of answer, but you naturally just sort of go into it. And I would give this 30-second or 1-minute answer, or maybe 2-minute answer if I was feeling a little long-winded that day, and that'd be it. And then I would maybe write outline ideas, topic, discussions. But if I never sit down or stand up in this case, or go on a stage and speak for that amount of time and really draw it all out, then when am I ever going to figure it out? How am I ever going to do it? If I never practice it, if I don't have the environment to do it, if I solely rely on conversation, and then when I walk away from conversation, I'm like, oh, that was so great, I got to do something with that. But then for some reason when I'm solo, I don't do any of it. And now we hit this point where if you're sitting there being like, I have something cool, I do something cool that, you know, other people like, and you want to talk more about this, and you just find yourself not doing it, give yourself an easier way to do it. Give yourself more ability to play around with it. Don't take it so serious. I find myself taking it too seriously sometimes. coming from somebody who says they enjoy comedy, and then I get all in my head about it, and sometimes it's hard to think about what I want to say because I know I've talked about it before. I know I have good ideas. I know I have interesting insights because at one point I found them interesting and they helped me, and it just feels like it goes all out the window. Your mind goes blank, but that's because you're just trying to keep it all in your mind and perform perfectly on a one take, as opposed to just doing it over and over and providing yourselves the space to do that. So if you have something that you want to talk about and you just criticize yourself internally about how it's not perfect and about how it's not totally flushed out, that you're just going to figure it out one day, I will reiterate all the other super wise people that I listen to, which is just go do it. We can't think our way into a new reality. We just can't do it. It's so fascinating that it's set up that way, because you can spend a lot of time in ideation about it and really pondering how you'd like it to look. But if you never move towards that, then you're just not going to get there. It has to come with action. Action has to embody it. I would just like to encourage anybody who's listening to this that if there is something that you're considering doing, if there's something that you feel good about, and you could just tell that the only thing in your way is you need to make what you're trying to do easier and give yourself more of a playful attitude towards it, and just start doing it. Give yourself the environment to do it. Put yourself in the environment to do it. Just do it. Or if you're somebody who doesn't feel so inspired to speak about it, and you just want to be the person who lives it, because that itself is super powerful, then I encourage you to live it. And if you can feel that you're in the way of living the way you want to live, change it. And when you look at this, it sounds, when you look at the transcript of it, it sounds so simple, that if you're not living the way you want to live, then just change it. But it does turn out translating that into action can prove difficult. This invisible friction of our own beliefs about ourselves and what we believe we're worthy of having. And how interesting we think we are, and how valuable we think we are. We put all these things into question. If you question whether or not you really provide value to yourself, to other people, to society, it's because you are not looking at the evidence that you already do. Our minds are so skewed to finding what we didn't do, to latching on to our shortcomings and the things we feel like we missed. We'll just beat ourselves up and not act, and that non-action becomes an addition, a new layer of weight, of shame and guilt, when we can say, look, you're not even doing what you said you were going to do. You're not even doing what you said you were going to do. That's what we tell ourselves after we convince ourselves not to act, because the action creates fear, creates anxiety, even though we know it's the way to go. We get nervous about it. We get fearful about it. We talk ourselves out of it. We'll say, maybe tomorrow we'll do it. Tomorrow we'll start new. And then we don't act. And then the next day we don't wake up with this inspired feeling to do something new. What we wake up with is an additional layer of guilt and shame that we put upon ourselves, that we accept that, look, we didn't even do what we said we were going to do. We couldn't even fulfill our word to ourselves. And that will eat you. It'll eat you. And when you go outside and when you're in the company of other people, it doesn't feel so bad. You don't think about it. But if you're somebody who lives in your head and you put those extra layers of weight on you of not doing the things you said you were going to do, of not living the way you say you want to live, if you keep putting those additional layers of weight, shame, and guilt on yourself, then you will eventually question whether you bring value. And that's how you get to these dark spots alone, when you're not with other people. You begin to put all these things into question. You begin to put what you deserve into question. You begin to put whether or not you can provide value into question. You put your own worthiness into question when you don't fill your desires for how you want to live with action. And you just try to think your way through it. You just try to intellectualize your way through it. You'll never get through it. You have to act. You have to do something. And I know it's scary. I know it's uncomfortable. I know your heart rate might pick up. Your muscles will feel tense, but I would just encourage you to do it and reward yourself for it. And every time you act, immediately, even if you just do the simplest thing and you fulfill your own word once, that becomes evidence, irrefutable evidence, that you fulfill what you say you're going to do to yourself. It becomes evidence. So do that for yourself. This is why people sometimes draw the correlation between exercise and loving yourself. That exercise and moving yourself and engaging your body, your physical body, is self-love. If you made it this far in the video and you have somebody you'd like to give a little special charm or pendant to, or if you got something for yourself, you got an accomplishment to celebrate, you want to let it just disappear into the past, you want to put it into metal, then reach out, check out the website, make something awesome. This could be a pendant, but like I called it a charm, but it could be worn as a pendant. I have another one that I engraved that I wear as a pendant pretty often. You could also put on a key ring or a backpack, whatever you want to do. It's versatile. It's durable. Either way, I appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. This is Jester Engraving and Jewelry signing off for the day. We'll see you with the next project.